So a common theme that we've seen here across the country here in the portal, D, is teams looking for big old defensive tackles that can fill some space, can move a little bit. But at the end of the day, they want guys who are big, physical, and strong in there. And that is what Michigan is adding here with Damon Payne coming over from Alabama. He was really more of a rotational guy at Bama, but a big recruit, top 50 recruit out of Belleville, Michigan, coming out in the class of 2021. And Sharon Moore, a guy who has been vocal about wanting to get more physical at Michigan in the trenches. It's always in the Big Ten. You got to be physical in the trenches there, obviously. But Damon Payne, again, not a lot of production. You're not going to see huge sack numbers from that position. But if you're a Michigan fan, you have to feel pretty good about this move with Payne coming over.
Yeah, even with all the struggles Michigan had this year coming off the championship, they still had the best defensive tackles by far in the nation with Mason Grant, Kenneth Grant, 2 first-round picks. So you don't want to drop off. And Pete, you'll pull up some film here, but just to see what kind of run plugger Damon Payne is. But Sharon Moore had a quote, which I think speaks to, it wasn't in the context of Damon Payne, but it speaks to why you add a player like that. He said, just kind of like what you saw in the Ohio State game, the physicality, I want to turn that up to another level. The toughness, the strain that we had in that game was outstanding, but I want to get bigger. I want to get faster. I want to get stronger. So, I mean, again, some of that's coach speak, but I think he's pointing to the fact that Michigan, with all their flaws, was able to out physical their rival, a top 10 team, and win that huge game, just starting with Graham and Grant. They're out the door. You do not want to lose that staple of your team that you are tough in the trenches. It's been that way for a while, starting with Jim Harbaugh. Bring in Damon Payne. He's someone that's not going to, again, like Pete, you said, these are not the most dynamic highlights. You see the wide body, even double teams, he can handle them. He can get off blocks. He can make the tackle. He's just hard to move, man. No relation to Damon Payne, like you said, who's probably more of an athletic guy. This is your plugger. He's coming back home. He's originally from Bellevue, Michigan.
And you see that film against
Belleville, Michigan. Yeah. I apologize.
You see that film against Michigan, so it was pretty easy for them to understand, just watching the tape and knowing what you have on the other side there, the caliber of player and the strength that because it's hard to see strength on film sometimes, but it's very easy to see it in comparison to what your guys have.
Absolutely. And age. It's not just the size, right? Sometimes you have size as immature size. This is a class of 2021 player. So he's been in college now going on to his 5th year. That physical maturity, all those years in the trenches, in the weight room, on the practice field. He's hardened. He is ready to play at the Big Ten level. Of course, he's coming from the SEC, so the level of competition is not going to be a change. But defensive tackle, you just need a little bit of age. You can recruit as many blue chippers as you want, and you need to. You need age. Damon Payne, a lot of guys with this talent level are in the NFL. Because he is not a pass rushing type of defensive tackle, his style of play is somewhat less in vogue in the NFL draft, but still plays very, very well in college where the running game is so important. I think it's a nice fit, nice pickup for Michigan.